Hi, how are you? I hope you're all doing well tonight. Thank you so much for joining me. I know it's been a long time, but I'm here finally. It's been a rough week trying to recuperate from being out of town and in like multiple different time zones. And then having to try and get right back into going to work has been trouble. It's been real bad. So I do apologize for not coming back as soon as I got home, but I've been exhausted and trying to get myself together. And y'all, going back to work, I took one day off, so I went back on Tuesday. But going back immediately like that was a huge mistake. Today was the first day that I didn't feel like I needed a nap in the middle of the day to like figure out my life, okay? You can comment the word flower. Hi, Callie, to get the link to get all the stuff that I'm using here. This right here is the floating frame. This is the 5x7, okay? And it comes, the bundle that you get in the link, whenever you comment the word flower, you get a piece of acrylic. Now, you can see it looks like it's matte, okay? Now, what I did is I took a pair of tweezers, and I just kind of like pulled up the corner, okay? So I have two corners up so that I could get to it because I couldn't do it with my nails. Hi, Lori. Hi, Melanie. Welcome. Hi, Marie. Okay, so you're just going to want to peel that off. Now, you don't want to do this until you're ready to do your project, okay? Because you can scratch the acrylic. Hi, Deborah. How are you, love? Welcome, ladies. I'm so happy to see you all. I'm so sorry for being tardy. I've been trying my best to get back into the swing, and it has been a struggle. So, this is your piece of acrylic. It's clear, okay? I know it's hard to see, but it's here, I promise, okay? We're going to use the Christmas poinsettia, okay? And we're going to use also the new color of the month. This is Jolene. Have y'all seen it yet? I don't even think I've opened this yet, so we'll open it. Hi, Alma. Welcome. Yeah, it's great to see you. Hi, Bev. Thanks for joining me, y'all. Yeah, I'm so happy to be back, too. I need to get back in the swing of just work and all that stuff, but I tell you, it's been a struggle. Hey, Lynn, how are you, love? Okay, now, that's open. Y'all, this is so pretty. It's like a shimmer, almost like a shimmer, cherry, almost. Let me see. No, more like a shimmer cranberry, I think. Yeah, shimmer cranberry for sure. So I also have some black velvet here that I might as well go ahead and open before I start and get to the point that I need it and then not have it, right? So let me tell you about our trip, okay? By the way, these are my wedding nails. I did these right before we left. Oh, thank you. Isn't it great? I love this blouse too. So we left here on the 5th of September. 6th, sorry. I put these nails on the 5th, okay? And they're still going strong. So if you haven't joined my Red Aspen group to check out the nails, you should do it, okay? They are legit. I love them. And we just had a huge Halloween launch of all kinds of new nails. Y'all, I'm so excited. And I booked myself an event. I'm pumped. I'm really excited about it. So, yeah, me too. Me too, Lynn. I hope you got yours. Because I'm surprised that it hasn't sold out yet. Yeah, the ship is awesome. So let me just tell you about that. So we got married before the ship took off. So I was able to invite people. I am fuzzing this. Let me do it on this side because I have a bunch of stuff stuck to my fuzzing cloth. I'll fuzz it a couple more times because on acrylic, this is going to stick really, really well. Okay. So you just want to fuzz good. So we were able to invite several people that didn't go on the cruise, which is awesome. I don't know if y'all saw the pictures, but my friend Rachel was there, my chalk friend, which was super cool. Her and her boyfriend came. It was so special. Obviously, our parents were there because they went on the cruise with us. Chris's best friend from Tennessee came. Who else? we had several people that didn't sail with us that attended. Oh, my daughter was there and her best friend, who's like my other child, which was super cool to have her there with us, to share that with us because she loves Chris so much. But yeah, it was really awesome. We went, it was a 7-day cruise. So we're going to start with Jolene. Okay. Hi, Patsy. How are you? Hey, Sandy. How are you? All right. Let's see. This is semi-clean. Let me just, y'all, my room is a mess. Okay. Before I left, I dumped a box in here. I did clean out some boxes. Y'all, I'm a nightmare. Okay. I need to clean my tools. It's really bad. Okay. I kind of got to the end of the rope with the cruise coming up, and I just like did the best that I could before I was leaving. So things are not as they should be right now, but that's all right. We'll make do. Okay. So I'm going to just stick this right on here, just like normal. We're going to use Jolene. Look how pretty. Anywho, so we went to Sitka. It's kind of hard for me to see through this. Well, it's on that. Okay. We went to Sitka. We went to Ketchikan, Icy Strait Point. We drove to the Dawes Glacier. We did get to go hike and see a glacier and a waterfall, which was really cool. We went to Juneau. Y'all, we saw some really cool stuff. Victoria, British Columbia. We went to Bouchard Gardens, and I'm telling you, if you ever get the opportunity to go up there and do that, go and see those gardens at night and during the day, because it was really cool. We went at nighttime. It was so awesome. Like, it's acres and acres and acres of gardens. And it's absolutely stunning at night. We didn't get a lot of time, and it was raining. And y'all, so before we left, I ordered these hiking shoes that are like waterproof because, you know, it rains all the time in Alaska, which it didn't rain except for like twice. One day it did rain on us a little bit. We didn't stay in Ketchikan long because we didn't have an excursion that day. And the second time, I want to say it was in Juneau, after we got back on the boat, it started raining. But the rest of the time it didn't rain until we got to Victoria, and I didn't realize that it was raining until after we got off the boat. So I was wearing my regular old tennis shoes, which was a giant mistake because my feet were soaked because we were walking with umbrellas through this garden and my feet were soaked through. Hi, Donna. How are you? All right, so I'm going to peel this. Now, that was Jolene, our new color of the month. It's not going to last long, so don't let it sit. If you have not gotten it yet, you need to go grab it. You can comment the word flower, and you can get it from me tonight. Let me see if I can't grab my little thing over here. Okay, so this is my little cleaning solution, okay? So this is my poinsettia, all right? I know it's hard to see, but we're going to be able to see it here in just a second. Here, look. I'll show it to you like this. Okay. All right. That's our poinsettia. I'm gonna clean this really fast. So just plain water. Okay, this is just a dish mat just to catch the water. But it was such a cool trip, and it was really awesome to get married on the boat. I ended up wearing my dress all day that first day, and it was so much fun. We went to dinner. Y'all, so they had told me that I was getting an 8-inch cake, right? And in the pictures, it was deceivingly small, okay? And so I'm just thinking, like, it's just a 2-layer, like, simple, basic, simple, tiny cake, okay? And so I didn't even really want it served at the reception, or we didn't even have a reception, like, at the wedding, because I didn't think that there would be enough for everybody, y'all. They did not tell me it was going to be 8 inches in diameter, but, like, 15 inches tall, okay? It was a giant cake. And so I asked them, we had reservations for dinner that night. We went to the steakhouse for dinner, for the wedding dinner. And I had asked them to bring it to the, give it to us at the restaurant. And then whenever we get to the restaurant, the guy, like, our waiter is like, hey, we have such great desserts, you probably don't want to do that. And I'm like, okay, cool. So we ended up ordering dessert instead, and he's like, I'll just have it sent to your room, right? It gets sent to my room, and they bring us some plates and forks and stuff, and so me and Chris were just eating on that cake the entire week, okay? Like a couple of heathens. It was excellent. We just were digging into it with a fork, because they wouldn't let me take it off the boat, so I wasn't going to get to go home with it. So it was either eat it or lose it, you know? And so we're just like eating cake all the time. It was pretty excellent, actually. Okay, so I'm going to make sure this is really, really dry. And let me look. See if I can't find a couple of paintbrushes over here in my stash. Hopefully these will be small enough. I always misjudge the size of the paintbrush that I end up needing. So hopefully they'll be small enough. We'll see. Now, I'm not sure if my vision's going to come to life here or not. I think I need an even smaller one, actually. But I want to do a watercolor on this, okay? And what would be really cool is if you wanted to flip it over and paint the opposite side of it, and then it would show through to the front. But I think I'm just going to paint the front, okay? If that makes sense. So, let's do this. I've got a couple of color trays right here. And like the very end of my, this is cherry paste, by the way. Whenever you comment flower, you'll get the link to get all this stuff. Anyway, y'all, such a great trip. Definitely highly recommend it. Norwegian was pretty good. There were a few little things that were questionable. I was really annoyed at the embarkation process because nobody knew that I had a wedding. Like whenever we showed up at the ship early, they were telling me, no, you can't get on early. And I'm like, I'm supposed to get on early. I have a wedding at noon. And they're like, no, nobody gets on early. And I'm like, I'm supposed to. And so that was kind of infuriating, is the right word. And then the girl that was supposed to meet us, she was supposed to meet us at the door, and she didn't. And then we get in finally past customs and all that stuff. And like, she didn't show up until a while and didn't really give me good directions on where I'm supposed to wait, or, you know, it was very scary that we were going to be late, but everything worked out fine. I did my hair and makeup before we actually left to go to the ship, like at my hotel. And then I had plenty of time to get dressed and like do more of my hair and makeup. So that was cool. But yeah, it was kind of stressful there for a minute. And then once we got on the boat, everything was great. It went great. And of course I paid for like 50 photos, right? And I couldn't pick, y'all. I was trying to pick, and I got up to like 100 and something, and I'm like, just give me all of them. I have to have them all. I'm not going to be able to weed it out to only 50 that I love. And so ended up getting all of them, which was fine. It was okay. It wasn't terrible, but you know how that goes. The cruise companies just want to take every penny they can from you. All right. Now, I'm just watercoloring this, okay? Was it? Yeah, I mean, it was a nice ship. It had a really beautiful inside, like a really pretty, in the center, there was that like glass stairway with a really cool chandelier in the middle that we got some great pictures at. A really nice casino, some great restaurants, some really, really yummy restaurants that we ate at. And I didn't know, I've never been on a cruise before, so I wasn't really sure how it would work. I thought that you had, if it was a restaurant that you had to book like reservations at, that you would have to pay extra, right? I thought that basically the only thing that was free was going to be the buffet. Turns out there's a bunch of free restaurants that you can book. And so we ended up doing that for most of the nights, which was really convenient. They had some great shows. We saw Jersey Boys. Have y'all ever seen Jersey Boys? It was so good. And that guy, the main character, oh my gosh, he can sing, girls. Like, I mean, I stood up and applauded him because he was incredible. I was so impressed. Right. No, I've got my watercolor done. I think of the red. And it doesn't have to be perfect, okay? We are going to go back over it in just a second. I am going to keep this out just because I'm afraid that I'm, you know, going to screw something up. I have this tiny paintbrush that I'm going to use for the stem with my pesto, which is here. Hi, Milta! I hope you had a great birthday. Yeah, Jersey Boys was awesome. My parents went and saw Icons, which was like, it was like music through the ages, right? From like Dolly Parton to like Lady Gaga and all that. They saw the Beatles band that was there. There was a country western band that was there. We didn't go to all that because I was so tired. So apparently, and I had no idea, y'all, I'm not a world traveler, okay? I've been to the Caribbean multiple times. That's as far as I've gone though, okay? So I didn't know what the time zone was in Alaska. And apparently it's called Alaska Central Time, which is 4 hours behind where I am currently in Central Time, okay? So wherever you are, if you're Eastern Time, it'd be 5 hours ahead of you, etc., okay? That was an adjustment, my friends, because the whole time I'm like, okay, it's 9 o'clock my time here, you know, like wherever we were, but it's actually like, I don't know, 11 or 12 o'clock at night where we're from, and all of us were dead tired all the time. And then once we got back to Pacific time, same thing, and it was time to go home, and just trying to adjust. And then y'all, oh my gosh, I didn't realize how hot it is in Texas until I left and went and experienced like 50-degree weathers, and I was wearing a jacket and long sleeves every day. And then I get home and it is so stinking hot here. It is absolutely so hot. Whenever we got off the plane, I always park at a parking lot near the airport, and I take a shuttle to the airport and back to my car. Works really great. I get points for it, so I can use those points for free parking. It's awesome. Anywho, so we get back to the shuttle, and there's about 50,000 people standing in line. I kid you not, it was so many people. And so the shuttle comes and picks up a group of people that's in front of us, and it was like we were the second to next people in line after them, okay? And I swear to you, we waited another probably 20 minutes for another shuttle to come, and I was just roasting, standing there like sweating my butt off, like terribly sweating. I'm a sweater anyways. Like I sweat pretty heavily and profusely. It's kind of gross. Let's see about this paintbrush. This one's kind of interesting. I don't know where I got this from, but I'm going to just do, I think that's supposed to be little black dots in the center, so I'm going to do that with this, with the black velvet, but there's a long hair. Maybe this paintbrush isn't great. I don't know. Darn it. I'm gonna regret this, I think. Okay. Let's try to not regret it. Anywho. So, yeah. It is so hot here. I forgot all about it while I was gone, enjoying the, like, mild 40, 50, 60 degree weather. And what's funny is whenever we got to Seattle, it was kind of humid and hot. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I was not expecting it to be humid there. Because I lived in Oregon. When I first graduated high school, I moved to Oregon with my high school boyfriend, who I had been with for like 5 years. And it was not hot there. It was, and not humid ever. It was great weather all the time, pretty much. Even when it was raining, it wasn't bad. So I'm going to dry this, but I'm going to like hold my dryer away from it because it's still very wet. And I don't want to push any of that water around, okay? I want it to stay where I put it, but I want it to dry anyways. So we got to Seattle, and I was like, oh my gosh, it is so humid here. And I was really scared because my biggest fear was that I was going to be putting on my wedding dress and just sweating my butt off and not be able to cool down, because it takes me a minute to cool down once I get to sweating. I was terrified. Luckily, it was very cool the next morning whenever we got up. Thank God. Y'all, I am so grateful for that. Oh, you know what? I missed an entire leaf over here. Just chatting away, not even paying attention to what I'm doing. So, luckily I have an extra brush. Anywho, yeah, I was real worried, but it wasn't bad. And we got so lucky with Alaska because it didn't rain hardly at all on us. It was pretty foggy though. I think that's pretty normal for Alaskan cruises from what I've seen now that I've taken one. It seems like my Facebook feed is just full of cruise stuff now that I've been on a cruise. Or talked about a cruise or Googled cruises or whatever I've done. I don't even know what I've done, but I think that's pretty normal. Hey, Amy, thank you. I appreciate it. But anyway, yeah, super fun. If you ever get an opportunity to take an Alaskan cruise, highly recommend it. You will love it. I promise you will. And I'm so happy that our parents were able to go with us. That was really cool. And just having them be able to hang out together and become friends, like they know each other from previous, times of hanging out and stuff like that, holidays and things like that, but they haven't really spent tons and tons of time one-on-one. And so getting that for the three of them was super cool. I really, really loved that because they were really able to get to know each other well, which was great. All right, so I've got this cleaned off, okay? Now I'm going to fuzz it again, and we're going to go back in. Hopefully I'll be able to line this up and it'll be great, okay? I'm going to fuzz it really well because I don't want to pull up any of the paste that I put down. Now, all of this is paste that I painted on here. And I'm going to try and line it up on the bottom part. It seems like it'll be a little easier first, and then I can just set it back down. Oh man, I have a big old piece of fuzz. So something funny that I did is, so my aunt was there, my mom's sister. Okay, my mom has 3 sisters, and they're very close, and all of their kids, all of us are very close, me and my cousins. And so my one aunt and uncle were there, but the rest of my aunts weren't able to come. So what I did is I printed out a 12 by 12 very close-up picture of their faces. Hi, Margie. How are you? Of the 2 aunts that weren't going to be able to make it. And I put it on this poster board right here that I have in my room. Okay. Glued it on there, cut it out, and put it on a popsicle stick so that somebody could hold it up and we could take a family photo with them in it. Which was hysterical, by the way. That was great. So now I'm just going to do the black velvet on only the outline, okay, of the poinsettia. Now, this is hard, and I just screwed up. It'll be okay. Because I want to keep that Jolene in the background for the words, okay? Now, I'm not sure if I'm going to need to paint the background of this, the other side of the piece of acrylic. We're going to find that out in just a minute. Now, this would be a good time to use a smaller tool or a mini squeegee cut in half, okay? Because this is a tiny transfer. This is an A size. They're only 5 by 7 or like 4.5 by 6.5. And so, oops. I messed up again. It's fine. Hopefully it'll be fine. Okay, I'm going to pull, well, darn it. There's not really a great place for me to pull it up to like separate my thing, my design out. Oops. So now I'm gonna have to. Okay, so we're gonna do paste and peel and just peel that up a little bit, okay? Because I want the black to not dry in the transfer, and then whenever I go to pull it up, I end up pulling up all the paste, okay? So you want to make sure that you don't let it dry, and a matte paste is really fast to dry, okay? So you got to try and work fast. And on this narrow part, I do have my little detail tool here. I'm going to try that. There we go. All right. Now, I think I can pull this up and hopefully it's going to be good. I think that's pretty good. Let me go ahead and close this so that I don't dry up my paste. So that's the last thing I want to do here. Okay, so there's my poinsettia. Now, what I could do is I could paint the background of this, and I think I might do that. Because it's going to be kind of hard to see. Let me see what I have over here. I have this white paint. And I also, I think I have some, hold on. I have vanilla, and I love, so, he stayed with the pet sitter that I found on Rover, and she was so good. Like, top tier pet sitter, okay? She played with him outside in the water every single day. Let him live his absolute best lab life, because he is a Labradoodle and he is a water dog. Like, he is obsessed with the water. Anytime that there's water, he's in it. And he doesn't get that at home because I am not trying to have him be wet all the time. I just can't. So this is the right side, okay, that I just put the paste down. I'm going to put this right side down, okay? So this is what the back looks like now. Because I remember we started out with the Jolene, okay? And I'm going to get a sponge. Hold on. Let me reach for it. Okay, here we go. Now, I just have a regular little makeup sponge here. And I'm going to try and like sponge paint the back of this, okay? I don't know how dark I want it to be, so I'm going to just do it lightly first, and then if we need to do a second coat, I can do it, okay? But I want to be able to see those words. But yeah, our pet sitter is amazing, and she lives like 2 minutes from my house, which is so cool. And what a small world to find her. I mean, I looked obviously based on my zip code, but for her to be literally in the next neighborhood over was perfect. She's so awesome. She loves him, and he was having the best time. Normally he struggles whenever he goes somewhere new, even whenever we go out of town, and like if he's in a new place, he doesn't like to eat food right away. Like, he will usually take about a day to really want to eat again, which is scary because he does it to me all the time. Oh, that's perfect. I love it. Okay, so I'm going to just take this, I'm going to set it over there, and I'm going to let it dry, and then the next time that I need a sponge, I could just use that one and cut off the end of it. Hi, Connie. How are you? Dry this really, really well, okay? Make sure that it's fully dry before we move on. Again, you can comment the word flour to get all the stuff to make this, and I don't know if y'all realize this, but if you sign up as a Perks member, you will save 30% on all of your product, all of your top purchases. Or you can sign up as a designer. We have a brand new designer kit that's $99 for this month, and it's got a bunch of stuff in it. It's like $380 something worth of stuff for 99 bucks, and you immediately will get access to 40% off all of your purchases if you sign up as a designer. No need to sell or anything like that. Just do it for the discount. Okay, so I want to make sure all my little peaks are dry. I've got some thicker spots, so I'm just going to make sure that's super dry, okay? Hi, Steph. How are you? Welcome. Alright. We're getting there. There's just a few little spots. Oh, this is, oh, that's so pretty. Look how pretty that is. The watercolor really sets it off, I think. So do it in 2 layers. You can do any color on the bottom layer that you want. I did use Jolene because it's so pretty. That is gorgeous. Now, this is the frame, okay? It's kind of intimidating. I had to figure it out on my own a minute ago. Hi, Donna. Thank you. I'm glad you love it. So turn this like this, okay? Both of these need to be parallel to each other. And then you're just going to slip this in here. Now, the great thing about this frame is that it's double-sided, so you could do a different design on the back side if you wanted to. And look how pretty that turned out. I am really digging this project. I hope you all love it as much as I do. Check that out. And make sure that you comment flower. Sign up to be my Perks member. Come join us in the fun. And I love you all. I will see you all very soon. And thank you for hanging out with me tonight. Good night.